Series 2 of the Mermicornos drops on Veve on Saturday. And guys, let me tell you, this is not one that you are gonna want to sleep on. I've been doing some research, I've been doing some digging in preparation for this video and for this drop. And guys, I found a lot more than I was anticipating. In this video, I'm gonna go over some of the interesting things I found about Tokidoki, Mermicornos, the co-founder of Tokidoki, and his relationship with Veve and the team. And I think what I'm about to tell you guys might make you rethink sleeping through this drop on Saturday. So my first inspiration to make this video in the first place was from an old interview that I heard where David was talking about Simone Legno, who is the co-founder and the artist of Tokidoki. And if I remember correctly, someone please correct me if I'm wrong, David gave the Veve pitch to him in a taxi in China. That is how the first Veve partnership came about with Tokidoki, through David Yu and Simone Legno. And that was the main thing that inspired me to make this video and let you guys know that. But then when I started doing some more research, I found even more. And we are gonna dive straight in. Let's go. So here is an article from August 19th, 2019. And so that gives you some sense of how old this is and how old this partnership is. And I think this brand showcase idea is a cool thing for Ecomi to do, to highlight especially the not as well-known brands that they partner with. But as far as I know, they don't do any more brand showcases, unless I must have missed it. But I'm on the Veve medium a lot more than your average person, so I think I would have seen it. But regardless, Tokidoki got a brand showcase in honor of the first license for Veve's digital collectibles platform. So like I mentioned, that piece of info that I knew just from listening to some random interviews a few months ago inspired me to make this video. But then they do an even deeper dive and talk more about Tokidoki, Simone Legno, and their relationship with Veve. But I really don't want to gloss over the fact that Tokidoki is Veve's first ever partnership. To me, what this shows is that Tokidoki and Simone Legno had the trust and respect in Veve and the team to get on board with them back when no one knew what NFTs were, no one saw the promise in digital collecting, and when David and Dan had to create this and bring it up from the ground level. Now, I don't want to speak for anyone on the Veve team, but just what I know of them, and I know if it was me, I would want to do nice things for the person who believed in me before no one else did, and the person who took that first jump, that first leap to get us off the ground and get us going. Like we always say on this channel, first appearance, first edition, first in general are so important, and I think this is a really rare and unique first that shouldn't be overlooked. And I think that this is a very unique relationship, and I think that they will continue to maintain this relationship throughout all of Veve, because the more Tokidoki digital collectibles they sell, they both make more money. The more money that gets transacted in the market, they both get more money. So it's really a win-win situation that they both benefit. By the way, if you guys appreciate the research, if you guys are enjoying the content, I would really appreciate a like, a comment, a subscribe, something like that. It would really help me out and I would really appreciate it. So let's keep moving through the article and see what else there is to explore. So here's some brief background on Tokidoki. They were established 2005 in California, repping the CA. No one calls it the CA. I don't know why I just said that. But they have quickly become a globally recognized lifestyle and apparel brand. So the co-founder, who I mentioned earlier in the video, Simone Legno, he grew up in Rome, Italy, and was also very interested in Japanese toys, anime, art, and that really influenced his style. And we see that displayed with the Tokidoki art style. And there's this quote from David in here, and I just think it's so cool because this article, as you saw earlier, came out in early 2019. So seeing this quote now in 2022 and seeing how it came true and how much of a visionary David is. By the way, I covered a video talking all about how much of a tank David Yu is in the business world and just in general. So go check that out right here, wrong hand. But anyway, look at this quote. Their very diverse global audience are already collecting Tokidoki's unique characters in various forms. Being able to have verifiable ownership of unique digital art on the Veve app is going to change the way collectibles are viewed, bought, and traded. And let me tell you, he could not have been more spot on. We are seeing that play out perfectly. So shout out to you, David, for being a true visionary. So here we see some of Tokidoki's products. We got apparel, clothing, accessories, toys, eyewear, child passenger seats. Very specific, but I like it. But they are not only known for their eye-popping aesthetic, they are also known for their megawatt partnerships. And so here we see we got some major ones. They even said it right here. Barbie, enough said. we got Hello Kitty. I can actually see a lot of similarities in the art style. And check this one out. We're very familiar with this one being on Veve. We got Marvel. So just off these partnerships alone, Tokidoki is not a brand to be slept on or disrespected. And here we see some examples of the collaborations. So here's Marvel, here's Le Sportsac, we got MLB, that wasn't even mentioned in this list, I don't think. But MLB, they have some megawatt partnerships, as the article said. The world of Tokidoki is incredibly well suited to the digital collectibles market. The brand also features a wide variety of characters and iconography that translate perfectly onto the new digital medium. So this is why I said that I could see this relationship and this partnership being a very strong one for years and years to come. And here are a few things that we can expect to drop from Tokidoki in the future. Cactus Friends, Donatella and her sweet friends, Unicorno, we saw season 1 of Unicorno. There are 7 in total. The Mufia series, Mermicorno, so series 2 is coming out on Saturday, and then there's one more after that that is unannounced. Till Death Do Us Part and Punkstar. And so I talked about David and Simone having that relationship. Well, it goes back way farther than that taxi ride in 2017 or 2018, because they formed a relationship in 2005. And then David after that became a fan of Tokidoki. And over a decade later, well over a decade later, they have met up again to combine in the NFT space. David says, "We chose Tokidoki as our first brand partner because of their ambition to expand into the digital realm when it comes to collectible items." So they were very open to getting into the digital world way before anybody else. And the fact that they took that leap and they trusted Veve and the team to handle their IP and distribute their IP in this brand new landscape, this brand new frontier, says a lot. And here Simone talks about his excitement for the future of digital collecting, where he says, "We feel the Tokidoki characters can be applied to all products and are especially excited that we will be one of the first licenses in the digital collectibles space." And that you were, Simone, that you were. And props to you for having the foresight, having the vision to take the leap and make that great move and being a trailblazer. And here is another article. They were really gassing up Tokidoki on the Medium page back in 2019, but this is from November 1st, and this is a digital collectible sneak peek. And again, as far as I know, I don't think they do this anymore for any other brands, but it would be cool to see them start doing this again. But here we see at the time of this article, beta testing was so close that you could have almost tasted it, and they used some of Tokidoki's products as a way to test, sneak peek, showcase what the 3D digital collectibles would look like, because there were not any released at this point, which is crazy to think about. And this isn't groundbreaking, but I thought this was pretty cool, honestly, because what I'm about to show you is the sneak peeks, the tests that they made to show off the 3D digital collectibles, how they might look, and they used Tokidoki characters that are not collectibles on the app right now. But when I go through them, you've probably seen them scattered around the app, whether it be on the loading page or anything else. And here they are. So here's Donatella. Now we got Fortuna. This one looks sick. And then Kaiju, we all know this guy from the loading screen. I've seen a lot of people, including myself, be confused as to what he is. But now we know he is a Tokidoki character. And now it makes sense why they've kept these characters on those loading screens, on those test screens. Because these are from the original testing phases when Veve wasn't even in beta yet. So I'd seen on Twitter before that someone said that these should be changed to something that's like Marvel or Disney, just so when a new user comes on, it has more of a professional look. But after knowing where these originate from now, I kind of don't want them to change it. I think it'd be cool if they kept this all the way through, kind of like a time capsule, as like a way to remember the roots and the first ever partnership. Or if they don't do that, I would love to see these guys released in some kind of limited edition, exclusive, special kind of drop in some way. And something else that I thought was pretty interesting and that I wanted to highlight and that I'm able to perfectly illustrate thanks to Cherry Chart's graphs right here. I just pulled up the Mermicornos set and they pull up everything all at once so I can see the entire set, the entire price history. But I'm sure you guys might be noticing something, and that is at the time that Series 2 was announced, every single Series 1 saw a huge bump. So this is a very common theme on Veve that I've been saying for the longest time, that everything that drops, since NFTs and Veve are so new, everything that comes out is likely going to be a first, just because for most brands, for most collectibles, this is their first time in the NFT space. So as we see more iterations come out, the first is going to become that much more valuable, and it will become very clear which ones are the most sought after, are the most rare, are the most exclusive, and Series 1 for most cases will always be that. So even if the rest of the Tokidoki sets don't do well, not saying they won't, by the way, this is not financial advice, never financial advice, but just say they don't, I think the best bet is Series 1, all else equal. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to sit down and watch this video. As always, this has been NFC Flenny. I'll catch you guys next time. And good luck on Saturday. And I also want to point out that this little guy hanging right here was my pass to Decon. And actually, something cool about it, it's actually signed by Reese. And then I was also able to pick up a physical Mermicorno from the Mermicorno Season 2 set. So, awesome pickup.